In today's lesson, we're going to be finding the of in the percent proportion or in the percent equation. We can look here and we give the example that they give us to start off with is 88 is 25% of what number? We know that 8 or the part is associated with the is and the of is associated with the whole. So we put that right there, okay? And then we know that we circle these two right here and then divide by what's with the x. So let's go down here and look at a couple of examples. 30 is 45% of what number? So we have our formula, which is the part over the whole is equal to the percent over 100. So let's set up our formula like this, and we can set up percent proportion like this all the time because remember, out of the 4, you're going to be given 3 of them. So if we read this, it says 30 is, and remember, is associated with the part, and then you have the percent sign here, so that tells you where that goes. So 45% is going to go right here in the percent place, and then 30 is going to go right here in the is place or the part, and then we have x. So if we diagonally circle these, like I taught you when we were doing proportions and all, and leave what's with x open, you're going to have 45x equals 3,000. All right. And we're going to isolate that x, so we're going to divide each side by 45. 45 divided by 45 is 1, so that cancels out, and you're just left with x. And then 30 divided by 45 is 66.666, which is going to round to 66.7. Now, the alternate method, you remember that I showed you, gave us the circle with the line, and that is not a really good circle, but okay, remember this line you divide, this line you multiply. Then and this up here was the part, up here. So we have 30, and then we put the percent right here, and the whole number's over here. It's 45. So that is saying 30 divided by 45%. Well, we know that we have to change that to a decimal. And 30 divided by 0.45 is also equal to 66.66, which rounds to 66.7. You can do either method or one that you know that may be different if you would like. All right, example number 2. 22 is 34% of what number? We've got the part over the whole, or the is over the of, equals the percent over 100. Remember, is associated with part, and of is associated with whole. So we have 22 is, so 22 would come over here and go into the is spot. You have that percent sign, so that tells you 34 goes here. And then of what number? You don't know what of is. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to diagonally circle these two numbers, and we get 34x is equal to 2,200, I believe is what it is. Yes, 2,200. And then our objective is to isolate that variable, which is the x. So we're going to divide by 34. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other. These cancel out because 34 divided by 34 is 1. You're left with x, and x equals 64.7. See if I can draw a better circle this time. Now, the alternative method that I showed you, yeah, that's a little better. Remember, the part goes in the top, so our part was 22, our percent was 34, and remember that this line right here means to divide. So we have 22 divided by 34%. That means you have to change the percent to a decimal. So it's 0.34. You'd move the decimal 2 places to the left. And 22 divided by 0.34 is also 64.7. You can use either one of those methods or one of your own. And our last example is a word problem. is set. Let me go ahead and put the formula down here. So I want to make sure y'all see that. That's the part over the whole is equal to the percent over 100. All right, 34 students in an algebra class, so we know that this is going to be important to us, made an A on the test. If this is 85% of the students in the class, here's the question. How many students are in the class? That means it's the whole because it want to know how many's in the class. So X would go there. Your percent would go here. And then the 34 students in an algebra class is the part of that class. So we would put 34 here. Diagonally circle these two, and we get 85x is equal to 3,400. Remember, we want to isolate that variable in an equation, so we're going to divide by what's with it, which is 85. And then what you do to one side, you do to the other. So then you have x, and 3,400 divided by 85 is 40. And then the alternative method, if I draw a better circle, I can. Might get better at this as the year goes on. So we know our part was 34. Can't see that really good. Let me erase that. Go back to the end. Go back down here. Yeah, that's better. 34, and our percent was 85. Remember, you have to change percents to decimals, so 85% is 8.85 because you move the decimal 2 places to the right. Like if you had it here, it would go 2 places to the right and make it 0.85. 34 divided by 0.85 is also 40. Use any method that you feel comfortable using. If you have any questions, let me know.